Hey guys, it's Mrs. Dugan. Today we're going to talk about the engineering design process and we are going to go through our notes. So if you are watching from home, make sure that you have your screen split so you can see my screen, have me in your corner, and then have your notes up so you can follow along. Okay. So the engineering design process is a process in which we are going to look at what can we do, what can we build to solve a problem. Okay. So this is not something where we're creating an experiment and testing what happened, the cause and effect of something. We're actually building something that can solve everything for your problem. All right. Now, as I said, the engineering design process is solving a problem. The first thing that you have to do, step one, is to identify a problem. Identify a problem or need. Okay. So if you think about it, let's pretend that you are at home on Sunday and you wake up and you're starving, like you didn't eat very much the night before, and you smell something coming from the kitchen. All right. What would your problem be? Your problem is that you're hungry. Okay. And your need is that you need food. All right. So again, that first step is identify, determine what the problem or need is. Okay. And as you're doing this, as you're going through your identification, the identifying a problem, you also need to document a couple things. The first things that you need to document are your questions. You should always document all of your questions. The reason why we document our questions is because they are what fuels our research. If I ask you to research what is a goldfish's impact on the environment, you would go into Google and type in what is the impact of a goldfish on the environment. Okay. So then after all of your questions, you need to put down all of the things that you've learned. So you need to record all of your research and any other steps that you've taken, your procedures. Okay. And the reason why we document our procedures is that many of you have been in math, all of you have been in math, and many of you have been told to show your work. Why do we show our work? Well, we can go back to which step it is that we did wrong, and we can fix the problem from there instead of having to start it all over. So I mentioned research. Research consists of two things. One very specific thing and one very large thing. So the specific thing is existing solutions. Okay, and existing solutions are what have other people come up with in order to solve this problem. For example, every car company has come up with a different solution to making a better car. Kia has a car, and we need to look at Kia's car and look at Ford's car, and we need to look at the Tesla so that we can try to determine what works best and what doesn't work. Okay, and in addition to all of the existing solutions, you need to write down any information you found through research. So those are the information I'm talking about is what you found when you asked your questions. Let's go back to our example of going to your parents or your guardian and asking what smelling what they were cooking. Okay. So first thing you might do is ask them, what are we having? That is a form of research. You're asking a question and they're going to answer you. And that answer is the information that you need to write down. That is research. You're asking questions and receiving an answer. Okay. So step two is actually research and brainstorm solutions. So again, research, it consists of two parts like we talked about, but also the actual definition of research is a systematic, or planned way to carry out information. Okay? And research, what consists of research are those two things, existing solutions and information you gathered. Okay, so let's go back to this one. I don't think I said it correctly or I didn't write it down correctly. A systematic way to gather information. Okay. And then after you've done your research, you need to start brainstorming possible solutions. And the reason why that's plural is because if you have something planned, you always need to have a plan B. If this fails, you shouldn't just look at yourself and say, I have no idea. I didn't plan this. You should have multiple solutions. Number 3, our step 3 is going to be design a solution. Okay, so designing a solution, guys, this is really important. Designing solution does not mean you're building, it's two-dimensional. Excuse me. So designing a solution means you're drawing it. All right, it's all on paper. You're planning it out, you're labeling it, everything. Before you even start drawing, though, you need to suggest limitations. And limitations are they're things that make your they're things that make your solution difficult to create. Okay, and some examples of that are cost. Is it going to cost a lot? Your materials. You can materials, time, and we also have politics. If you think about it, I have their politics affect everything, right? It affects what can come into a country, what can't. My husband works for a pharmaceutical company, and he can't ship certain medical equipment or certain medical materials to certain countries because they don't allow them there. Okay, so you have to put that into perspective too. If you're creating a solution that may not pass in another country, you need to think of a workaround. So after you have suggested your limitations for all of your possible solutions that you came up in the brain with the brainstorm, you need to look at all solutions and select the best one. Guys, best is very subjective in our culture, okay? I can think that chocolate chip cookies are the best, and you may think that oatmeal raisins are the best. Actually, oatmeal raisins are. But anyway, so the best when it comes to science means that, especially in the EDP, best is which one solves the problem the most effectively and efficiently, okay? So what does it solve it fast? Does it solve it well? Does it solve the entirety of your problem? After that, after you pick at your solutions, you are going to create a sketch of your best solution. Okay, so you're creating a sketch of the best solution. And just for emphasis, when we talk about design, we're also talking about drawing. You wouldn't build a house before you actually sketched out what everything's going to look like. Think of your designing a solution as a blueprint for your project. Okay. In our next video, we're going to talk about steps 4 through 7. So remember, our first step is to identify a problem. Then you research and brainstorm, and then design or draw a solution. So all 3 of these are setting you up for the next big step, okay, which is construct a prototype. All right, I'll see you back here later. Bye.